Alright fellas, it is currently Monday morning, and as you can tell by my voice, we're a little bit ill. Does that change the mission? No. Does stuff still have to be done? Yes. Regardless of how I feel, I'm going to do what I need to do. Started running ads yesterday, only at £10 a day, which is a pretty low ad budget to be honest, but I need consistent sales, and that seems to be the thing I'm best at in terms of organic ads. I'm better at spending money on ads, which is obviously really cost effective for me. So I'm just going to let it run for like 2 or 3 days, look at the data afterwards, and then just see which ones are converting and then switch it on or off. A little bit of good news as well, actually. The DJ I mentioned, Rawdon, a few videos ago, I'll pop a picture up here. He wore the establishment tee last night in Miami, which is pretty cool. There's like thousands of people in the crowd, so that's pretty cool. Everyone's seen my t-shirt. And it's actually nice as well when you send like PR to someone and they actually like the clothes and they wear them. So Rawdon, if you're watching this, nice one, mate. This week is all about driving sales. Sales need to come now because people are starting to put their hands in the pocket to come into Black Friday. And I don't want to do what I've always done and try and make all my revenue for the month in like 2 or 3 days. I'd rather spread it out. So we need to start putting content out now, both organically and ads-wise. But the most important thing is staying consistent on both parts. I may or may not have just had an epiphany. That sounded really posh, actually. I think it's all just clicked. So the best way I can describe this is my consumer, who I'm targeting, is still a bit cloudy in my mind, but I have a rough idea. Now, the reason it's cloudy is because I'll use this analogy. Say you're in the cafeteria at lunchtime at high school. You've got different tables of kids, and them tables of kids all are sat with each other because they have similar interests. Now, what is weird is that some of these interests will cross over. So say you have the football team here, you have sort of the computer heads here, and you have the music here. Now what's weird is music's a pretty broad term. So you could have, say, someone who likes rock on this table, but then you could also have someone who likes rock on the sports table. And obviously they're two different consumers because of who they're hanging around with. But technically, I'd still be targeting them for these clothes because they're both interested in rock. Now, what's important is because these two have separate interests, you can't speak to them the same. The music one is going to be more sort of a diehard fan, most likely. This is like hypothetically. Whereas the sports one probably just likes the sound of the guitar or the drums or the beat or something. So if I start saying to this fella who's on the football team, oh yeah, the riffs, like the riff's unbelievable, the power chord he plays, and then he drops a tune and stuff, they're probably going to look at you completely blank because you're not speaking their language. But whereas if you said the same musical terms to the people on the music table, they'd get it. Now this is important because I think I'm speaking to the consumer in the wrong tone. I'm trying to be too broad and just get as many people as possible because I'm trying to chase sales at the moment because it's not been the best couple of months. But what I need to do is choose one of the tables and go full in on the table. Now in business terms, that's called a niche. I need to find one niche of people and curate my entire brand, how they breathe, how they talk, how they smell, what they enjoy doing, what they eat, literally everything about their life. I need to target them so my brand feels familiar, but the next level up. Because everyone's always trying to progress, no one's trying to go backwards. So if you show them familiar things about their life, but then show them, say they've got like a standard guitar like that, but the fella on the Frost video has like a 10 grand Fender guitar. So then subconsciously in their mind, whether they think it or not, whether they realize they're thinking it or not, they're going to think, oh, I want to be like him eventually, so I'm going to buy my way to that position. And that's sort of how the exchange with brands works. It's a bit, I'm not explaining that the best, but it's more like you're selling a vibe to someone, and if they like the vibe, they will buy whatever you're selling. Like Frost could be selling guitar picks, and if I show them a life in which they aspire for but is sort of similar to theirs, so it looks attainable, they'd sell out instantly. Now, obviously, this is hypothetical, and it's a lot easier than it sounds, because otherwise I wouldn't be in the position I'm currently in. But at the moment, there's a lot of themes that are going with Frost. And my overall theme for the time being has just been about being everything to do with being a man. When I think of a man, I think of cars, I think of rock music, I think of going to the gym, I think of working hard, making loads of money, and that's what I was sort of going for. But all five of them things are different, because people's idea of success is different. But also, like, take money for example. On one hand of the internet, you've got people trying to actually make businesses, like selling products, selling services. You've got hustlers who are probably in the local area, maybe doing, I don't know, their own power washing service, or like a builder or something. But then you've got another person who's trying to chase money, who's online showing them in Dubai, trying to sell you a trading course when they've never looked at a candle chart in their life. And then on the other hand, you've got people who are chasing money, but say they want to do it in a safe way. They don't want too much risk, so they go to the 9 to 5. They put repeat investment into an index fund, and they just let it accumulate. And it's just not been specific enough. Even if I just said Frost is about the consumer chasing as much money as they can physically get hold of, there's still different niches within the niche, and I've got to pick one of them, because at the moment it's too broad. I've just received a very nice email from Meta, actually, and I'll pop it up here. What it says is, basically, stop running ads or we're going to ban you. And apparently, I'm using something copyrighted. Doesn't sound like me, mate, no. What I think it is, I think it's the establishment tee, which is this one. But last time I checked, I don't think the Ramones asked for permission when they used it, and it's inspired by the Ramones. So I think I'm being slightly stiff, to be honest. But instead of stopping the whole campaign, I've just removed that ad from it. And it wasn't performing the best anyway, to be fair. So fingers crossed I don't get banned. I actually feel like a fool. Scrap everything I just said in the last clip, because I've just reread the email. I asked one of my mates, has this happened to anyone else? And the email is from Enzo Aim at VincentPaul84.France. And I don't think Mark Zuckerberg has an email for Facebook with that address, to be honest. So I've actually just nearly felt like I fell for a scam, which makes me feel absolutely thick as fuck. So I'm turning that ad back on raw now. It is now Thursday. I've not really vlogged much, surprise, surprise. But at the moment, I'm just making a magazine post, which is going to go up tonight, I think. It's basically just like visual inspiration in one thing, but I thought if I made it a digital magazine rather than just a normal post, it's a bit more engaging. And I think it's turned out really well, to be fair. So it's got a little bit more stuff to be polished on it, but it should be ready for tonight. But that's not why I turned on the camera, actually. Why I turned on the camera was I wanted to explain what I'm going to do with Frost now, because we've obviously got Black Friday, and then after that, the drop system is going to change. I'm moving away from the traditional stuff we've been doing, and I'm going to try a new method, because big brands say represent Cole Buxton. You know what they're going to do every single spring, summer, fall, winter. They'll have 4 or 5 drops maybe in fall, winter, 4 or 5 drops in spring, summer. Now, I can't do a new collection/drop every single month, because it isn't feasible. The sell-through rate isn't there, and it's just out of reach from where I am at the moment. So what I'm going to do is pivot. Now, it is quite risky, this, but if I hit the nail on the head, it'll be a lot better and easier to scale than I'm currently doing. So the idea is to do product drops. By product drops, I don't just mean like, oh, here's a new blank hoodie, or here's like an updated fit of the hoodie, or a new graphic on the same hoodie. What I'm planning on doing is making pieces so unique and so unseen before, but have a tiny bit of nostalgia tied to it. So people's first perception is it's new, but also familiar at the same time. And a good example for what I can say about it now is the World Cup next year. My plan is to hit the World Cup on the head, because not only is it the biggest sporting event in the world, when people are in summer, they seem to put their hands in the pockets more, and maybe that has something to do with the sun always being out and people being happier in the summer. But two products I've got in mind that I need to design today and this weekend are going to be like a retro inspired tracksuit set, sort of like the Brazil one, and another one which I have done before for the Euros was a football t-shirt, but this time I'm going to change the fit and also not get them made in Pakistan, because although I do like that football top and it turned out really well, if I did get it made in China, it would go from a good football shirt to an excellent football shirt, and something you'd feel in the shop and go, oh yeah, I can see why that's worth like £150, but obviously I'm not going to sell it for £150. I do not have much else to say for this vlog, so I'm going to end it here. And if you did enjoy, please make sure you like and subscribe, because it does help me more than you know. And if you follow along with the Frost Files, you do know that we end every single video with a motivational quote, and this one's a little bit different because I actually made it up myself, and it goes like this: in a life where you can be anything, why would you not choose to be everything?